Welcome to the Built to Scale series Outside Marketing, bringing you quick, actionable episodes to help move your business forward. Here's your host, Craig Severinson.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 7. There it is, of Outside Marketing, the show where we answer the question, how do you build a thriving business without sacrificing your personal life? And today we're talking about email marketing, how to nurture and sell using emails. If you enjoy this content, you like hanging out with me, check out builttoscalehq.com where you can get more content. That's where the podcast Built to Scale is housed, and you can get resources and support there, builttoscalehq.com. So today I want to talk about email, and this is on my mind because I was working with a client last night on their campaign. We're talking about how are we going to get people to take action? How are we going to change opinions? And I was like, you just have to start emailing, building an email list, and start getting your thoughts out there. And if you regularly get in people's inboxes, by the time it comes for them to take action, they're used to hearing from you. They're used to listening to what you have to say, and you've built the trust they will take action. Now, in this case, it was he wasn't selling something. It was a political campaign. So he's a candidate for office, and he's working on how do I get people to vote for me, right? So the idea is it's a local election, so he doesn't need a million votes. So build your email list and consistently talk to them about what you're doing, what's going on in the community, and get them to build that know, like, trust factor, because who are they going to vote for? They're going to vote for the person that they know, like, and trust. But those principles carry over into email marketing as well. And the stats show that pound for pound, email is still like a number one contender for marketing effectiveness, right? So like we want to use email because it's going to really help you grow a tribe of people. It's going to help you grow your brand, your know, like, trust factor, and make those sales, right? I think beyond that, why do you want to do email? If we really break this down, why do we want to do email? I think there's a lot of side benefits too. One is that you get to think about, I talked about this in the last episode. When you write stuff down, you get to think about your processes, your thoughts, and you got to put them on paper, and it crystallizes what you're thinking about so that it makes it easier for you to express yourself and express what's going on. And then two, it's if you write this like you're writing to a friend, really growing that know, like, trust factor is quick. It is fast. Like if you really become a human being and write from that point of view of like, I'm writing another human being, you can grow your know, like, trust factor pretty dang fast. Now, here's the thing. Most people don't know where to start with email marketing. So I want to break this down just really into a simple process for you so that whether you are new to email or whether you're advanced with it, you get something out of this conversation. So I like to think in frameworks. And so this is my email marketing framework for nurturing and selling clients. Okay. And it's 3 parts, a 3-part framework. So number one, first part is list building. How are you going to build your list? So if we keep talking about the client I was working with last night, how is he going to build his list? Well, he's going to real life events. He's having real conversations with people, and then he's going to invite them to join his list. You could totally do that, especially if you're running like something that has a brick and mortar location. People are coming to you. Put a clipboard on a desk and invite people to join your email list. Or if you're going out to conferences, you're going to events, have a website on hand where you can say, hey, why don't you sign up for my email list and keep in touch? Here's where you go. Or here, sign up right here. Let me take down your email. I'll do it for you, right? The more work you do for other people, the more likely they are to actually take the action, right? So if you say, hey, just give me your email, I'll sign everything up for you, they'll take the action. But the way that I personally am growing my list is live events, as in like webinars or speaking, right? And that's working really, really well for me. I really like doing once a month, I'll do a new webinar, and we'll get between 75 and 150 new people on the email list every month, which is fantastic. It comes trickling throughout the month. So we just, as people register for the events, we put them on the email list, and there's a nurture sequence, and then they're on the list, right? It's fantastic. And what I love about live events is that not only do they get on your email list, but then they get to go to the webinar, the presentation. You get to provide a ton of value to them up front, help them solve a ton of problems, and then also make an offer, right? So you can actually make great sales that way. And then those that don't want to purchase or aren't ready to purchase, they go onto your email list and they get some time to get nurtured and get to build that trust with you so that they can make a purchase in the future. And I think that mindset that I just explained, first of all, here's a little tangent, a little sidestep. In order to make that work, you've got to be of the mind that what you're providing is really valuable for people. Okay, because if you're not providing value, then they're not going to want to purchase. And I see Lumina saying, "Hey, Craig. Hey, Lumina. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate that." Okay, so that's part number one, is to build your email list regularly, and keep this simple. We talk about funnels and systems; those things should make your life easier. So it's not necessarily this place you need to start. What's the simplest version of growing your list? You reach out to people and you invite them to join, right? Hey, I've got an email list. Would you like to be on it, right? Maybe a more advanced move is doing something like a live event like I'm doing. And an even more advanced move would be, well, maybe not even more advanced, maybe about the same, make some sort of, they call it bait, or the other name is escaping me. But the idea is you create something valuable that they have to sign up for your email list to get, right? Maybe not more advanced than the live event. The live event has a lot of moving parts, but again, keep it simple as you can. Okay, number two in our framework for email is selling. Okay, so you've got how do you build your list, and then how do you sell. So the first part is really obvious if you're doing something like an event. If you're doing a live event, as soon as you make the offer in the webinar, the event, then you can follow up for like however long your cart is open to sell to them whatever offer it is that you made, right? So you can actually start just really, the word I'm going to say is aggressive. That doesn't mean that you should be aggressive, but it means maybe bold, more bold, right? When you've already made an offer and they're expecting that, you can follow up on that offer a little bit more boldly than you would typically. Lead magnet, Mike. Thank you. Yeah, the other word for bait is lead magnet. Mike, you got my back. Thank you so much. Lumina is asking, which email service provider do you like right now? Really, this is preference because a lot of them do the same things. So, man, when did I start? I used to use Constant Contact when I was in the corporate world. I didn't really care for Constant Contact, but it's okay. I personally am using MailChimp. I've been with them for a long time. They've been through a lot of transitions. They used to be like the laughing stock of the email providers, and when I was just getting started in business, they were free. so that's when I jumped on board with them. But over the years, I've seen them really transition and improve, and I think that they're one of the better providers now. They're affordable. They've been purchased recently by Intuit, who does TurboTax and all that stuff, and that was not that long ago. So we'll have to see what more changes they do, whether they maintain the standards or improve or get worse. But right now, Lumina, that's who I'm using is MailChimp. Okay, so selling, right? The other tip here, so when you have a live event, you can go straight into selling, right? When you do something like a lead magnet, you might not jump right into sales right away, but you also would be surprised how quickly you can make that transition. And so I think that there are two tips overall that I would love to give you in terms of selling through your email address. Number one is right when they get on their list, that's when you need to start with the sales conversation. Okay, so if they go to a live event, you've made an offer, be bold, sell right away. If they haven't gone to an event and they got a lead magnet and got onto your list, they've essentially bought something. They bought something it wasn't monetary, but there's an exchange of value, right? You gave them something in exchange for their email address. So you can now start to escalate that sale to, okay, you got that, you liked that. What's the next step? And would you like to take that step, right? And you can start, it's almost like the value ladder idea, right? Where you're giving them a little bit and moving them up the ladder a little bit. They might not go from something free to a premium offer, but they might go from something free to like maybe $100 or $50 offer. And once they make that first purchase, then they become buyers, right? And now that list becomes a lot more valuable. And then the other point that I make with selling is that it really helps you. I think we get bogged down in email marketing. Again, we try to make it really overly complicated. So the second tip here is plan out when you're going to make sales. Don't let it be just this willy-nilly thing that you're going to do. Like, make campaigns throughout the year. When do you want to sell certain offers? And put that on your content calendar for your email, for your social media, for all your stuff. And then it's not a question of what am I going to sell? It's when the time comes, you're going to do it, right? So actually plan out when you're going to sell. And that opens up our third step in our framework. So we had list building, we had selling, Now, the third part is nurturing. And what are we nurturing? Is a relationship of trust. So this is where most people get stuck because it's tough. And really what it is consistency. You have to be consistent with your email marketing. And as you get consistent, the only thing that you need to do is send short, poignant messages that provide value. So I think it's helpful to define value here before we move on. What is value? I think lots of people define it lots of different ways. But for me, what makes something valuable is, does it inspire? Does it motivate? Does it instruct somebody to take action? Because action is where value is created, right? I could have the perfect, the email framework that I'm giving you right now, right? Great knowledge to have. Yeah, fantastic. If you don't implement it, do you get results? No, you don't, right? So you have to actually take action. So if you want to provide value in your emails, that doesn't mean that you're constantly selling to people. That means you're constantly inspiring, motivating, encouraging them to take action in their lives that lead to positive outcomes. Now, to do that, you have to know, here's another side tangent. You have to know, what is your main branding message? What do you stand for? And what is your deeper why? Because those are the umbrellas that you will consistently be telling people and inspiring people to take action behind that. So if you don't have, what is that bigger why? What's that bigger motivation, bigger driver for you? You'll always struggle with nurture sequences for content, because you'll always be like, okay, well, what's my how-to video today, right? And how-to content, I know this is funny because I'm talking how-to right now, but how-to content doesn't necessarily sell, right? It's the inspiration, motivation, encouragement to take action around a bigger idea. Luna says consistency. Yes, love that, Lumina. Thank you so much. I'm looking down at my notes to make sure I hit everything. And the last little thing, okay, so that was our 3-step framework. How do you build your list? When do you sell? How do you sell? And nurture. How do you nurture? And I wanted to just say one thing about funnels and automation and all that stuff. That's not where you start. That stuff is meant to make your life easier. So if you're just getting started in email, don't be like, oh man, it's so complicated. No, like, just what's the most simple form? It's put people on your list, you make an offer, and then you email them regularly, and you consistently make offers. That's all it is, right? The automations and the funnels should make your life easier. So if you're just getting started out, don't worry about that stuff. Get used to emailing first. And if you've been going for a while and you don't have automation, you don't have funnels, now's the time to start looking at it, right? Because that will make your life a whole lot easier. If you're not constantly trying to, make sure everyone's getting the welcome sequence because it's automated, it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. Yep, Lumina says inspiration, motivation to take action, 100%. Okay, guys, that's what I got for you today. I would love your opinions, your thoughts. Leave them in the comments. What are you doing with email marketing? How are you getting into, if I boil this down into why this is important again, kind of revisiting the front of this presentation or this podcast, it's to build trust with your potential clients, build relationships with them, and email is an intimate way to do that. So treat it with respect, and it will pay dividends for you. Okay, until next time, take some fast focus, imperfect action. I believe in you. I got your back. And today it's raining, so I'm stuck under this pavilion, but that's okay. Okay, we'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.
Thanks for joining us. To check out all the Built to Scale episodes and to see how Craig can help you in your business, go to builttoscalehq.com.